What's up, everybody? Welcome to TotallyAFan. I am your host, Taffy. Welcome to another episode of TotallyAFan. This is a show where we go into the news in the world of movies, comics, video games, TV, your Fandom Fanfare right here. Now, today I'm flying solo again. Mr. Jesse is taking care of some familial things, so it's just going to be us today. That means it's going to be a short little podcast. We're not going to go into the full theories and other talks that we usually have at the end of the news segment. But if you guys still have any questions, if you guys have any updates that you want us to go over, just feel free to go ahead and let it down in the comments, and then I'll go ahead and I'll read it there on chat. Now, as a reminder, we stream every Saturday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If for whatever reason you can't catch the live stream on Twitch, we do stream the podcast on anchor.fm/TotallyAFan every Monday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you can't catch the podcast, well, you can listen to the podcast wherever else you like to listen to them, on Spotify, Google Play, etc., etc. Additionally, YouTube clips get sprinkled throughout the week with the full episode usually going up every Wednesday. So make sure that you guys are tuning in for that. So first, I want to thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to come hang out with us. I greatly appreciate it, as this allows us to get into one of these passion projects that I really like doing, where we talk about nerd stuff, because we don't always get the opportunity to do it at home, just because, family may not be into some of the same things, or they may not be as deeply invested into some of these projects, just like you might be, or at work where, you don't really have time to talk to your coworkers. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. So let's go ahead and get started with today's episode. So HBO Max is updating their streaming service. As of 2022, every movie that comes out in theaters will be exclusively to come out in theaters. Now, they had announced this back in December of last year, I believe, but it seems that a lot of people kind of forgot, because a lot of people are up in flames about it. But the biggest reason why they did the in-theater, in-service release of the properties was partly because of the COVID pandemic. With a lot of people being at home, they took this opportunity to cash in on everyone signing up for the service to be able to watch these movies at home. So movies like Godzilla, for an example, the Tom and Jerry movie that got released, Mortal Kombat that's going to be coming out later this year or later this month, and a couple other projects. HBO wanted to take advantage on people being at home, but because of the vaccine getting rolled out the way it's getting rolled out, they decided that by 2022 we should be back in order. Now, the other thing too is with Suicide Squad coming back in August, it might be possible that everyone will be able to go to theaters. And honestly, seeing how everybody is up in arms about wanting to go back to normal, that a lot of people are probably going to be returning to theaters anyways, with some states opening up and other states, even though they have still high COVID numbers, that's still a thing. People still might be going to theaters. So I don't know if they're going to be updating this anytime soon, or if they're going to be bringing the date up. But for sure, as of right now, in 2022, everything is going to go back to normal. Or rather, we hope everything's going to go back to normal. But as far as the streaming service goes, the platform goes, 2022 is going to be strictly in theaters. So that's an update. In case you didn't know, now you know. Next, another streaming service is actually getting some kind of update that's going to be shaking things up a little bit. Spider-Man has been known to be is part of Sony, right? We know that for sure. However, Marvel has struck deals with Sony to allow to be able to produce the Spider-Man specific movies and have it intertwined with their universe. However, Netflix, they secured a deal with Sony to be exclusive streaming platform for Spider-Man movies. This includes the next Spider-Man movie. This includes it's probably going to include Far From Home as well as Homecoming, but it's also going to include Venom 2, Morbius, and whatever other movies that they have planned. Black Cat is still potentially in the works. We're not sure if Sinister Six is still in the works, but all of those movies will no longer be exclusive on Disney, and it's going to go straight to Netflix. Now, this is weird, and I want to bring it up because the whole issue with Netflix and Disney's deal with the Defenders, with Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones and Iron Fist. Uh, According to reports, it seemed like they got off on like it was bad blood between them. Like like Netflix was pissed off that Disney was going to launch their own streaming service, and thus taking away the whatever I guess plans that Netflix had after streaming the Defenders. In the article, and I have to look it up, but in the article, Netflix says something specifically how, oh, we love Sony, we've always loved partnering up with them, and we're really excited about this. And they said something specifically that was in that vein that sounded like it was a backhanded slap slash not really a compliment to Disney. So I don't know if it was a power play move that they did just to kind of be like, you know what, Disney, screw you, you messed this up. Now we're going to get back at you this way. So that was something that I thought was really interesting and kind of funny in that regard. However, as I said, moving forward, Netflix will be the exclusive streaming platform for not Sony specifically, but definitely Spider-Man specific movies. So that includes, again, Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse 2, Venom, etc., etc. Now, if you guys have been keeping up with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, last week's episode was pretty crazy. Or rather, yesterday's episode was pretty crazy. Some crazy stuff happened. Now, with a bunch of projects, it is typical, or at least it definitely was back then, it was typical to see a lot of viral marketing stuff online, social media, that makes not false, but like, how would I word it? Like in-world content or whatever, make it seem like it's like for real, it exists. For an example, when the movie Cloverfield came out, the company that the guy was going to go working for in Japan, they had a couple different websites. One website was the company's website. Another website was like a Slurpee company that supposedly they had something in their drinks that was like kind of toxic. And then another one was like a conspiracy style website that was talking about the Cloverfield monster and how the Japanese company was the source of it. And it was pretty intricate. It was actually really cool. In that regard, for the Falcon and Winter Soldier, Madripoor has their own website. If you go to exploremadripoor.com, there's not a lot of information there, but it does give you a little bit of information about High Town and Low Town. It gives you some kind of look into what the made up country looks like. However, the big key item here was that early Friday morning, there was not a lot, but there was big references to X-Men and the mutant universe within Marvel, right? There was a freight ship that was called the Mystique. There was a reference to Draken, Wolverine's son. And there was another reference, but I don't really remember what it is off the top of my head. And now these references were huge implications because everybody thought that maybe they might tease Wolverine in Falcon and Winter Soldier. We believe that that's not going to happen, but that was a big fan theory that was circulating around because of coming off the heels of WandaVision. There were some other theories floating around that just kind of didn't make sense in terms of timing. We know that the Eternals wants to have what they want to have, but they've removed all of that. Any references to the X-Men and some other information that was there Friday morning has gone, and I don't know how to find it. I don't know how to look for like whatever pictures or whatever that was there. All of that stuff is gone. Now, what does that mean? Well, X-Men probably isn't going to get referenced. Mutants aren't probably going to get referenced or even tease that in this series. And I think a lot of it has to do with the delays and pushbacks of all the projects. Now, we said it before, but like when James Gunn left, when Disney fired James Gunn from Guardians 3 originally, that delayed that movie as well as the rest of the timeline because of the sequencing that it was supposed to come into. Black Widow getting delayed also messed up with the sequencing because supposedly there was information in Black Widow that was supposed to lead up to Falcon and Winter Soldier, but they had to rearrange that. Shang-Chi also coming in a specific order. I think that got shifted as well as Spider-Man. So once you shift these movies and these projects, you have to change the overall narrative of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Anytime you shift the date or you delay. Now, if you like push something back a month or two or whatever, and it doesn't change the order of which these projects are going to get released, then the flow of everything is going to continue the same. However, because of the pandemic and the shift at everything, that's probably why they've removed a lot of this stuff from the Madripoor website. Again, you can go to explore Madripoor.com if you guys want to get a little bit of insight into Madripoor. But like I said, it's really bare bones. There's not a lot of information there, but it does give you a little like comparison of Hightown and Lowtown for those of you who want to get a little bit more into it. All right, lastly, we have the title, we have the logo, we have costumes, we have the house, and we have another confirmed actor for Powerpuff. Powerpuff Girls is coming to the CW sometime soon, and we just got a whole bunch of information within the last couple days. Like I said, it's not going to be called Powerpuff Girls, it's going to be called Powerpuff. But the logo looks very similar to the original Powerpuff Girls logo. It doesn't look like it got any sort of like esports treatment or any kind of like dark, gritty treatment. No, it looks pretty good as far as the Powerpuff Girls go. They haven't changed that much. We did get confirmation that Professor Utonium will be played by the actor from Scrubs. I can't remember his name. I'm bad with names. I might be able to find it if you guys give me 2 seconds. I'm the worst, I know. I apologize. It's not the main guy from Scrubs. It's his boy, the black dude. I feel like you guys would know. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't really that into Scrubs. I thought it was okay. Shoot, I can't find him. But he's gonna be Professor Utonium moving forward. We also got to look at the house. Obviously, with this being a live action version of the cartoon show, they have to make the house look somewhat realistic, and it looks pretty nice. It looks like a modern LA home that you would find. It looks really good. But the costumes is the biggest thing. So we posted on the Facebook what the costumes look like, and keep in mind that these costumes look very reminiscent of the original cartoon. It's usually the skirt with like a black belt. They have knee-high socks, and I'm not sure if they have shoes or boots. We didn't really get a good look at that. But the costumes look very bland and basic colors, like, they really pop, but, like, they don't look very special. And I think with the narrative of the show is that the girls kind of drifted as they got older, and they have to come together and figure out, they have to go through this thing called life and figure out if fighting bad guys is really what they want to do with themselves or if they want to do other things. It's like a coming of age kind of thing. And so I think these costumes are either part of the pilot or the first episode, and it's going to be reflective of what they used to be. They're going to look at themselves. They're going to realize that they're that they're women now, that they're not little girls, and they're probably going to get a costume upgrade very similar to what the Arrowverse costumes look like or Flash costumes. I'm trying to think of the Legends of Tomorrow, maybe something along those lines as far as costumes go. They're going to get, that leathered armor stuff. That's probably what's going to happen. But a lot of people are freaking out because some of the costumes, they don't look ironed, and people were throwing fits about it. I thought it was funny, but it is what it is. So that's my theory on what's going to happen with the costumes and eventually how the show's going to take it. But we have all those pictures. It's up on our Facebook. You can go to facebook.com/TotallyAFan. Of course, you can find it everywhere else too. Just Google Powerpuff costumes. You should be able to find all that stuff there. Well, guys, that's going to be it for today. Like I said, it's going to be a pretty short episode, but thank you guys so much for tuning in. We got other stuff planned for later today, and I have future content getting ready to come out. So I want you guys, if you have TikTok, make sure to follow on tiktok.com/TotallyAFan. I have fun, informative, possibly educational content that should be released every Friday. Right now I'm working with an editor to see what we can do as far as getting these pre-recorded and having them ready to go every Friday. But yeah, guys, if there's anything else you guys want us to talk about, make sure that you guys are posting it in the comments. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you post it in the comments below. If you're watching on Twitch Live, make sure you guys are posting it in the chat. The same thing with Anchor. Reach out to us on social media at TotallyFan on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I want to have this community engagement because I want to make sure that we cater the show to what you guys want. But Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. As a reminder, we stream every Saturday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on twitch.tv/TotallyFan. If you can't catch the live show, we post it on anchor.fm/TotallyFan, the official home of the podcast. But you can also listen to it on Apple Music, Google Play, etc., etc. Now, if you guys like what we do here and you guys want to support, please consider subscribing absolutely for free using Amazon Prime on Twitch. Also, like, share, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. And we do have our merch store. As a reminder, we got these Mortal Kombat masks. We got Scorpion there. I got Sub-Zero. The movie got pushed back to April 23rd, so I don't know if you guys order today, if you guys will be able to get those in time, so keep that in mind. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll catch you on the next one, but as always, thanks for coming.